My dear, what is your educational qualification? Vera swallowed. I have a second-class upper in accounting, ma. The woman's calm shattered. A graduate in accounting who put you here as a messenger? Vera's hands trembled. Mr. Kokama, Gold's father, he helped me get the job. The HR director's expression turned cold. Her eyes narrowed. She leant back, letting the truth settle. This girl hadn't been invisible by accident. Someone had kept her small, buried her brilliance on purpose. But to understand the importance of this moment and why Vera had been kept invisible for so long, we must go back to the beginning of her story. Engineer Roland West had built his life brick by brick. He wasn't a wealthy man nor a man of influence, but he was comfortable. The kind of comfort that comes from discipline, budgeting, and a quiet determination to protect his family. His greatest pride wasn't his job or reputation, but his small family. Fiona, his devoted wife, and Vera, their only child. For years, he and Fiona prayed for another baby. They visited hospitals, tried treatments, endured countless disappointments. Eventually, Roland accepted what fate had given him: one daughter, one gentle, soft-spoken child whom he poured all his affection into. Vera was quiet. She stayed close to her mother, avoided trouble, and treated the world with cautious respect. Roland adored her. When she completed junior secondary school, he enrolled her in one of Abuja's most prestigious private schools. The fees were outrageous for a man of his salary, but he never complained. Every term he paid with pride. His pride, his joy, his everything. But everything began to crumble in her SS2. Roland met her. A woman who rewired his mind and convinced him he deserved more out of life. More excitement, more adventure, more romance. She was beautiful, bold, manipulative, and strategic. In just a few months, Roland turned into a different man. He stayed out late, ignored Fiona's calls, snapped at Vera for minor things. The once loving home became cold and tense. Then one night, he walked in holding divorce papers. Fiona fell apart. She begged, cried, reminded him of their vows, their struggles, their years together. But Roland's eyes remained cold. His mistress was pregnant, and suddenly he acted as though fate had rewarded him. He saw her, not Fiona, as his second chance at fatherhood. The divorce was brutal and quick. And once he left, he disappeared completely, along with every financial responsibility. Fiona, a long-time housewife, had nothing to fall back on. Bills piled up, feeding became difficult. Vera, now in SS3, had no way to pay her final year fees. Her mother begged neighbors, churches, relatives. She even approached the school administration, offering to work or clean classrooms. But the amount was too high. Her situation became staff room gossip. I pity that girl. She's brilliant, but life is dealing with her. Her father used to be so dedicated. What changed? But pity couldn't pay bills. That was when the PTA stepped in. Mr. Cooker, the PTA president, pushed a motion to support Vera, partly because his daughter, Gold Cooker, was Vera's closest friend. Gold was a superstar at school, athletic, beautiful, popular, magnetic. The kind of girl whose presence turned heads and whose smiles softened teachers. Vera was nothing like her, but they were best friends, and Vera trusted Gold completely. Not everyone shared that belief. One afternoon, Vera clashed with Mandy, the school bully. The argument was small. A seat, a remark, a shove. But Mandy delivered the blow that left Vera trembling. "You are just a charity case," she sneered. The words cut like a blade. Gold snapped at Mandy immediately,
Don't mind her, Vera. She's just bitter. But Mandy wasn't done. With a wicked smirk, she dropped a bombshell. Your so-called friend Gold is the one that told the class first. She's the one calling you a charity case behind your back. The world paused. Vera stared at her best friend. Gold's smile froze on her face. Mandy continued, enjoying the tension. She's two-faced, pretends to love you but gossips about you all the time. Shut up, Vera yelled, voice shaking. Gold would never do that. She believed it because she needed to.
After graduation, their paths split. Gold entered a prestigious federal university, living the luxurious life her father could afford. Off-campus apartment, car, allowance, endless social activities. Vera, brilliant as she was, couldn't afford admission. She became an apprentice in Madame Cecilia's tailoring shop. Cecilia was strict but fair. Under her, Vera flourished, learning to cut, stitch, design. But starting her own business was impossible. Every naira she earned vanished into survival. The only blessing left from her father was their small but fully owned house. It wasn't much, but it kept them from the streets. Years passed. Gold thrived in university. Vera survived in silence. Then, in Gold's third year, something unexpected happened. Gold called her one hot afternoon. Vera, Daddy said he will sponsor your education. Everything, fees, pocket money, all. Vera dropped the phone, trembling. She cried the day Mr. Cooker confirmed it. Gold insisted, he said warmly. She said you deserve the opportunity. Vera resumed school with gratitude in her bones. But university life revealed the truth quickly. Gold lived in luxury. Vera lived in discomfort. Her hostel room was a cramped, mosquito-infested box with peeling paint. Still, she tried to show appreciation. Whenever she cooked, she took food to Gold. She cleaned Gold's apartment when it was messy. She washed Gold's clothes, swept, arranged, telling herself it was the least she could do. Gold's friends hated it. They whispered. They exchanged glances. They wore tight, patronizing smiles whenever she entered. They treated her like someone who didn't belong, like an outsider invited to spaces she had no right to occupy. And Gold never corrected that impression. Sometimes, when Vera was leaving, Gold would rummage through her wardrobe and pull out dresses she no longer wore. "Take this one," she would say casually. "I'm tired of it." Vera always received them with gratitude, her heart swelling with appreciation. She didn't notice the way Gold's friends chuckled or exchanged glances as she held the clothes close to her chest. One day, Vera brought egusi to Gold's place. Gold wasn't home, but her friends were. As she stepped in, Jacqueline sneered loudly. You are here to collect second-hand clothes again." The room fell silent. Humiliation washed over Vera like hot oil. Gold walked in at that moment, catching only the aftermath. But instead of defending Vera, she forced a small laugh. Jacqueline, don't be rude. Just that. A weak correction. A shrug. A mask. And something inside Vera quietly broke. She withdrew completely. No more visits, no more cooking, no more cleaning. She wore her old dresses with pride, even when the seams loosened and the colors faded. She refused to take any more cast-offs. She greeted Gold politely on campus, but kept her distance. Gold noticed. Gold didn't like it.
But Gold never asked why. After graduation, Gold stepped into a corporate job immediately. HR department, air-conditioned office, car benefits. Vera was not so lucky. She searched for a job for months. But in Nigeria, certificates mattered far less than connections. With none, she accepted a sales job with terrible pay. A year later, Gold called out of the blue. "Oh, Vera dear, our company needs a messenger. I remembered you. Interested?" A messenger? With her degree? Pain squeezed her chest. But the salary was higher than her current job. Reality defeated pride. She accepted. The company welcomed her politely. She delivered files, ran errands, handled small tasks. It was humbling, painful, but she kept her head down and worked diligently. The months dragged on, and every time a real vacancy opened, someone else filled it silently. Every time she asked Gold, Gold smiled sweetly. "There is no vacancy now. Head office brought that one. You are better off where you are." But Vera saw the pattern. Every new hire was connected, and she began to suspect something darker. Were opportunities truly out of reach, or was someone ensuring she remained in the shadows? Then one ordinary afternoon, everything changed. Mrs. Priscilla Prince-Will, the elegant, no-nonsense HR officer, sent for her. Vera entered nervously. "My dear, what is your qualification?" "I have a second-class upper in accounting, ma." Shock flashed across the woman's face. "You are a graduate in accounting? Who employed you as a messenger?" "Mr. Cooker, Gold's father." Mrs. Prince-Will sighed slowly, anger simmering beneath her calm expression. "Bring your credentials tomorrow. Everything." Vera left trembling, afraid, hopeful, confused. The next morning, she submitted everything. A week passed in silence. Vera prayed morning and night. Then Friday came. "Come to my office immediately." Vera stepped in. Mrs. Prince-Will was smiling. "Congratulations, Vera. You have been assigned to the finance department as an account assistant." Vera gasped. "The salary," she continued, "is this." The figure nearly made her collapse. Plus full benefits. Tears streamed down her face. Mrs. Prince-Will came around her desk and hugged her. "You deserved this years ago. Someone hid you in the wrong place, but not anymore." For the first time in years, Vera felt seen.
Gold first heard the news in the most casual, most accidental way possible. She was in her office, scrolling through emails, when two HR interns walked past her glass door, whispering excitedly. "The new girl in finance, the one Mrs. Prince-Will promoted." "Yes now, the messenger girl. Can you imagine? She's actually a graduate." Gold froze. Messenger girl? Graduate? Promoted? A slow uneasiness crawled up her spine. She tapped her pen lightly against the table, pretending to focus on her screen, while her ears sharpened. "She's really smart, oh," one of the interns continued. "Second class upper in accounting. Mrs. Prince-Will say she's wasted downstairs." Gold's grip on the pen tightened. Second class upper? Accounting? A cold dread began spreading through her chest. No, it couldn't be who she was thinking. The second girl spoke again. "Her name is Vera." The pen slipped from her fingers and clattered onto the floor. Vera.
Her heart dropped like a stone. She sat back slowly, staring into empty space, as memories she hadn't touched in years came rushing back. Vera washing her clothes, cleaning her room, helping her in the hostel, following her like a loyal shadow. And now, that same Vera was in finance? With a promotion? With a salary higher than some junior staff? Climbing a ladder Gold had never imagined for her? Something bitter and sharp rose in her throat. Because deep down, deep in a dark, unexamined corner of her mind, Gold had always believed Vera should remain below her. Not suffering, not failing, just beneath. Gold liked being the helper, the savior, the superior friend. But now, the balance was shifting. And she hated the way it made her feel. Without thinking, she stood abruptly and walked out. Her heels clicked sharply against the tiled floor as she approached the finance department. She stopped beside the glass partition and looked inside. And there she was, Vera, in a neat blouse, a fitted skirt, hair packed beautifully, sitting confidently at a new desk. She was speaking with a senior accountant, smiling shyly but professionally. Staff greeted her warmly. Someone handed her orientation documents. Another joked about welcoming her properly with lunch. Her throat tightened. Vera looked different. Older, calmer, more assured. For the first time, Gold felt something she had never felt towards Vera. Vera didn't need her anymore. When Vera finally noticed her, her eyes widened. She stood respectfully and came forward. "Gold, good afternoon," she said softly. Gold forced a tight smile. "I heard you've been transferred here." "Yes," she replied with a small grateful smile. "Mrs. Princeville saw my credentials and—" "Oh," Gold cut in sharply. "So she didn't ask for my input or clearance?" Vera blinked, genuinely confused. I don't think so. She just asked for my documents." Gold nodded stiffly. Of course, Mrs. Princeville didn't ask her. Why would she? Gold might be a senior HR officer, but Mrs. Princeville was still her boss. "Congratulations," Gold said coldly. There was no warmth in her voice, not even a drop. Vera swallowed. "Thank you. I'm really grateful." Gold scanned her from head to toe. Clean, crisp, confident. It annoyed her more than she expected. "Well," Gold said, stepping back, "good luck." She turned quickly, almost like she was escaping. Back inside her office, she shut the door gently, sat down, and stared at her reflection in the black mirror of her computer screen. Her jaw clenched. Her chest burned. She felt betrayed. And she couldn't even explain why. Wasn't this what she claimed she wanted? For Vera to grow? Then why did it feel like something important had been snatched away? A seat of power? Control? Superiority? The truth settled slowly, painfully. Gold didn't want Vera to rise above her. She didn't want her to rise too close either. She wanted her to remain grateful and dependent. But now, Vera was climbing. And Gold suddenly realized something terrifying. If Vera continued like this, she might outshine her.
Next time on this African folktale, one yanked open the door and aimed a gun at her, dropped the case. Vera froze, not from bravery, but from shock. The robber snatched the case. A final gunshot blasted into the air, and they were gone. Back at the office, chaos erupted. Who leaked the details of the bank drop? Only a few people had known. Someone inside. Then another whisper began. Vera was unharmed. Only Vera. Not even a scratch. Suspicion spread like wildfire. Gold overheard the gossip and smiled. Subscribe for more African folk tales with moral lessons, African tales, Tales by Moonlight,